shorter song of mine that I like to play. It's called Lost, and that's the head and a couple choruses on it. The changes are like this: G major to E flat major to G major, E flat major again, and the split bar it goes up a minor third to G flat major, and then it starts this little tumbler like Coltrane matrix type thing. It goes from B minor to E flat minor, playing it. So it's like, you know, B so what chord, E flat so what chord, and then this is a G, any kind of G minor, B minor again, and then the last two chords of the A, B flat major and A flat 7 sharp 11, which is like a D altered. So to just jump in and start working on soloing on this tune, we'll start walking through the changes. If you're not comfortable with playing like wacky chord changes, this would be some deep water to jump into, but you know, the theory behind it is simple enough. So, you know, first chord G major, E flat major, like Lydian, you know. I never go into a solo with any kind of plan. You just start soloing, and you know, your instincts will take over, and you have to just grab whatever notes are available. Don't try to, like, you know, plan things out. But you can practice things slowly. You can break them down into little pieces. I guess that's what we're going to do here. So maybe first thing I might do would be just practice going between G major and E flat major. So G major, E flat, Lydian, back to G major. So the D major triad sounds real nice over G major. You know, if you're the kind of player that likes to look for little shapes and shortcuts and stuff, you can play, you know, B minor on a G major chord, B minor pentatonic, and go up a half step to C minor for this. If you like to pretend that's a C Dorian mode or B flat major, now you're really getting somewhere if you think B flat major, because that's the actual key that this chord is. So you could have, you know, G major, B flat major, like Ionian. So you have to kind of switch between these keys on the fly when you're improvising, and that's really the main challenge. And so yeah, then so it kind of does that twice. G major. Let's say if you're double timing them, then you get 12 notes per bar. C minor. Back to G major, or you could do D major or G Lydian. So it gives you actually a triad to work with, which is nice. I don't always automatically go to, like, you know, the Lydian mode when I see a major 7 chord. If it's kind of a tonicized major 7 chord, in this case we're in the key of G, and there's a G major chord. So you know, it might sound better to just play G Ionian. It's more grounding. You can kind of even bebop out, you know, the first time. But a lot of times the second time I will, you know, maybe in the beginning I'll play Ionian, but later on, you can have introduce the sharp 11 on the G chord that sounds like this. It's handy to have some licks that are like, ask yourself, given a G major chord, what are the prettiest 4 or 8 notes that you can think of, for that chord. So, because it's really all about the strength of the material that you choose. I think anyone can eventually learn the notes of a G major chord, but to really, to be able to select really good notes, really strong notes to play over that is, kind of makes all the difference. Something that kind of emotionally connects would be great, A lot of times I think jazz turns into too much of an academic exercise, and I don't know, you have to play it like it's any other kind of music and try to stay emotionally connected, try to feel something, which is hard when you're playing over crazy chord changes, and it does take a lot of practice. I've been working on this song for years and feel like still haven't mastered it, not even close, because you have all the different areas of the fretboard and all of those chord changes and the way that they all interact and on the fretboard in every different area. And it's even different if I'm playing along and I'm in the 7th position and then the chord changes, I have access to a certain position of the scale for that 2nd chord. But if, for example, if I'm up a fret, then that actually, then I go to the next chord, the E flat major 7 or C Dorian, however you want to think of it. Now I'm using a different position of the scale, so you just have to kind of keep going. So, but anyway, the second time you come to that 2nd chord, now you only have a half a bar to play on it, or let's see, it's a whole bar in 3/4. I'm kind of thinking in 6/8, so to me it's kind of like a half bar. But anyway, so you start off playing on this C Dorian maybe, and then after 6 notes of double timing, which is a long time, you have to switch to a G flat major. So a lot of times I think of in terms of enharmonic equivalents. So maybe this part you think that you're going from C Dorian to E flat Dorian. So maybe you're right here and you go, and then for the E flat minor. So there's an example where just by playing the same notes down 2 strings, you actually stay in key. So and then from there it goes into the 5th and 6th bar, which is kind of the part where there's like this little like a Coltrane matrix thing going on, where it's so just start off without a plan. Okay, you got B, it starts off with B minor, then you gotta just jump to E flat minor. A lot of times I will what the hell is that? Okay, I will use a either a note that is like a stepwise away from where I just ended. There's kind of like 2 things that work. In this case, it's actually a common tone to B minor. That's what makes it real seamless if you can use sort of look at the two scales in your mind at once and see how the notes lay on the fretboard, and you can see there's going to be a number of common tones. You can get real analytical with it. Like I know that there's three common tones between keys that are modulating by major thirds, like they're doing here. Those in the terms of key signatures, they're 3 sharps or 3 flats away. So, so what are those notes? Well, the 13th of B minor is the 4th of E flat major. So when you land on that note, you can target that note and then use it to pivot into the new key. And then the next chord is G minor. I like to play some fourths sometimes. And then the E is a common tone back to B minor. This is the key that we're going to, because it goes B minor, E flat minor, G minor, B minor. So, and there's even some little tricky chords that come at the beginning, come before that as a pickup to that, where it goes from C minor to E flat minor. So that you get all this stuff all crammed together. And then it resolves to B flat major, B flat Lydian, which is, you can just think of that as G minor if you want, because they're in the same key. But yeah, so you would have like, let's see what else. So yeah, another common tone between B minor and E flat minor is this F sharp note, which is the 5th. It's the 5th of one key. When you go up a major third, it becomes the minor third of the next key. So if you can hit that common tone, this is a trick that I learned from Woody Shaw. I should make a video called the Woody Shaw Principle, which is, I just transcribed him a lot some years ago and noticed that he's constantly using these common tones, and then he gets this real seamless effect when he can modulate over large intervals and like a tritone or things that are far away in terms of key signature, like the two of the farthest things away from wherever you are going to be modulating up a half step or down half step. So even though you're just only a fret away from those things, it resets all of your notes and you get like completely different set of notes. And so those modulations, tritone and half step modulations, have only 2 common tones. Major third modulations have 3. So but if, let's say I wanted to use this one that I just talked about, the G flat, to start playing in the one key, maybe think a little bit ahead about what note you're going to try to pivot. Oops, like that. And then there's a G minor chord. So if you're double timing, you get 6 notes to play over each chord, and you have to kind of, not only have the technique to do it, but the, you have to mentally be in control of your note choices and stuff. So what I recommend is don't play it along with a backing track, just play slowly and just think about stuff, and so you'll notice that your brain will thank you for giving it time to make these kind of complex calculations. And keep trying different things, and different combinations of notes, different sequences within those keys, until you get the ones that are really strong. It's one of those situations where not just any old thing will do. You kind of need to bring your A game, so to speak. So yeah, then once you get through that part, here's another one. Let's B minor, E flat minor, and then G minor, and then back to B minor, and then so that resolves to B flat Lydian, and then a D7 altered chord to get back to the beginning of the A section. So that's kind of how I do it. You just start off with whatever happens, it's going to happen. The lines. This is the tricky part. Is don't try to have a bunch of licks. Maybe a couple licks. In the beginning when I first learned this tune, I came up with a couple licks that helped me, and I was able to pretty much play the song within an hour of starting to work on it. But those licks are really kind of a crutch, and you want to try to do it this other way that I'm talking about, where you are exploring, and there's that saying, go for what you know. Totally don't do that. Go for reckless abandon is better than that. I just did a recording you can check out where I wasn't planning on publishing it. I was just kind of playing wild and with a lot of abandon, and it ended up playing a lot of material that I really liked, so I just published it anyway, even though and you can kind of see though, you just kind of play wild, but a lot of preparation goes into that, and that's what we're talking about now. It's the preparation phase. So, just more examples. So I'm just gonna keep going through that cycle: B minor, E flat minor, G minor, B minor. So, if you're double timing each chord gets 6 notes, or you can have an 8th note, or however you want to think about that. Have one note that's twice as long as the others, and you can have a pause. And then G minor. Here's a good B minor phrase. Things that are just really simple and tend to be the strong things. So something like, it just sounds like 2 little major scales. Maybe up high, B minor, E flat minor, G minor pentatonic, and then back to B minor. So I think that's really fun. You just isolate that one little part of it, just those 4 chords. Let's see what else we can come up with. Okay. You get these weird things like this, here's I'm playing in E flat minor, and then the chord jumps to G minor, so I just start playing in G minor. Whoops, I went to the wrong key there. And then back to B minor. Sometimes you can come up with real simple things that, following this shape throughout all the modulations. You could go So I use the same kind of fingering configuration through all three changes. It's actually kind of easy. You could just go like B minor, E flat minor, G minor, and back to B minor. I guess I gotta do the bridge. Take you to the bridge. So it starts with C sus. Which could be like B flat Lydian, or you know, you're already in the key of G, so it's sort of like you're just playing G Dorian. They're the same chord, really. If you stick to the triad, it sounds super melodic. So a lot of times I'll, you know, intentionally play simple things that that are intended to clarify what the changes are, instead of doing real, you know, snaky, more scalular things, or things with a lot of chromaticism, which you can do too. But it's sort of nice to, you can feel the music start to breathe when you work the triads. So yeah, it's E flat or C sus. Kind of doing a B flat triad. That kind of a folk-like melodicism, though. You know, think of like TV theme songs and you know, just simple stuff. Not because that's the only thing you know how to do, but these kind of tunes, they demand it. These kind of tunes with pan-diatonic changes. So you have to be able to very quickly get to the center of each chord and outline it clearly. And you might only have like a, you know, 1/10 of a second or something to play on each chord. They go by really fast. So yeah, second chord is D or C. So you have a couple choices over this. You can play like A Dorian. Or what's this right here? Like E Mixolydian flat 6. That depends on if the chord player is playing exactly, you know, how he's interpreting the chart. Because if he or she is playing D over C and not including another note, and you don't know if it's going to be a G note or a G flat, or that might restrict you, you know. Or you can ignore it too, and actually you can get away with playing a sharp 5 over the top, over that chord. So the rules are kind of, they get real pliable, shall we say. You would think that you have to do like a precise thing, but it turns out, I think, as long as your line is real clear, if you have that triad theme going, then you won't really hear it as wrong notes. So yeah, the next chord is just C minor. We're just staying in one position there and working it. Yeah, then the next chord, it's kind of cool how it does this. It goes like these, it's just a pedal C note. definitely that last chord E over C is time to play your E mixed Lydian flat 6 scale. And we talk about this in other videos. You don't really need any licks or anything. You just need to know where the triad is, and then where the fill-in notes around the triad are. So like if it's a mixed Lydian flat 6, and then those kind of repeat for the bridge. The second time is real similar, then it just goes back into the A though at the end. So so it's and then this is E flat major 7, and then it does a 2-5 to get you back to G for the final A. Major 7 sharp 11 is the last chord. So there's just some examples. I hope that helps you get started on playing this tune. Look up a chart for Lost. There's a good video with a chart on YouTube that has the right changes and everything. But I just think it's fun. I've been practicing this a lot. I like to just sit and start a line not knowing where it's going to go. Keeps you on your toes, and then when it comes time to modulate, just grab whatever note is close to the one that you were going to play if it didn't modulate. Give your line a contour. I think that the lines need to change direction a lot. That helps it sound interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you around.